intend to request all of you to kindly join me in paying a rich tribute to one of our colleagues who has been a long-standing member of this school board, who passed away sometimes in 2014 and is not amidst us today. That although there has been 2 meetings prior to it, but yet we have not recalled the contributions of our colleague who have been a continuous member of this board and who left us untimely because of some sort of sudden departure. So, in this regard, I shall also entrust and request, I'll also entrust and request one of our 2 colleagues who are closest to them to formulate a small resolution, which if you will advise us, we will adopt the same and will pass it on to the colleague. And the name of our colleague who has left us is Professor K. Enia. And I will request all of us to, in case you permit, we will stand for a couple of minutes to pray for solace and peace of the departed soul and endurance for the family. Thank you. Yudhira, can I request you with one of your colleagues who was very close to, had been close to Enia, form 4 lines resolution for the board. We will pass it on to you. That will be adopted by us and will be sent to the family.
Later on.
Yeah, later on, not 2 days after, within a day or 2. Okay? All right? The brief of my colleagues, the school board of education, board of school of education, which is supposed to regulate education, not only of the department but also contribute to the endeavor of education in the university, is a very important entity. But unfortunately, as we have been always seeing things in a truncated manner, we have never given education as an importance of that level. I have never understood that anybody who is in the institution, formal institution, whether it's technology or science or philosophy or any other field, they do not belong to education. They are all in education. But unfortunately, none of them consider them inside the education. They always consider other than and outside the education, other than people who are in the Department of Education. And people who are in the Department of Education, they also have forgotten their major role in building up the endeavor of education in the larger institution, in larger perspective. I am not in a position to, with a very limited scope of this meeting, to really go into the philosophical aspects of this. But I would like to really, being a board is an authority. Authority means which is going to really not only redefine policy, perspective, and its contributions to education in totality. It cannot close its eyes, and it cannot confine only to giving a degree giving program of education. It has to assume its role one day or the other. Otherwise, we are all failing in our responsibility. And I also intend to say that if you look at the ordinance of school board, it has stated more than 16 responsibilities are there with the school board. Board has 16 responsibilities. I am not sure that we are ever doing even 2 of those responsibilities diligently and honestly. Therefore, I have been always thinking that boards, either we should remove it and continue doing process as we feel convenient and relaxed, or we should assume responsibility of working as a board for our responsible actions which are supposed to be there, other than simply imparting instruction to give certificates and qualifying people without even they have quality of being qualified. Now these are the questions which we need to really look into it at a particular time when the mind of all of us is prepared and we are ready to debate on these issues. But what is that business? It's only a formality. Formality what? That so many research proposals are approved, and research proposals which are never debated in the board but are approved. Then it is a formality, it's not a board. When a person who is going to do a research is not in a position to place on a piece of paper 4 or 5 questions which he is going to inquire as a research, and people are not in a position to provide their inputs what the research is going to have a meaning, how we can improve that? I really don't know. All these questions are very, very important questions for me, may not be important for others. Because I happen to see things a little differently, much differently than my colleagues who see. Therefore, I become odd man out. I am an odd man here. Now, this school of education is here. Nothing more than that. It did not make any dent in the education of the country. I don't know whether we have made any dent in the policy of education. Any of us, our department has made any dent in the policy of education in the country. I am not quite sure. If we would have done it, I really will be happy to enrich. That means we are failing in our purpose. This inquiry. Now, education is a very important entity, and I would like all of us to see that education, and all of you are very important people, because even every discipline where evaluation comes in, curriculum development comes in, curriculum translation comes in, education has a role. But education has not been playing a role in the curriculum development. Even for that matter, when a debate in the university from shifting summative evaluation to grade evaluation came in, people did not really know the difference between what is the difference between a regular continuous score and a grade score, grading. But they had done it irregularly, arbitrarily, and without understandingly. And again, they are only marking arbitrarily and then putting it on grades, which is ridiculous, which cannot be done. These are the issues education has to look into, and they have to see how they can integrate with the other disciplines and how they can enrich and enhance the quality of education in the university as well as in their own department. So therefore, what I am wanting to say, the School of Education has never been given its due importance by the university. So much so that the School of Education was abolished from the university. But for technical purposes, for some sort of prejudicial reasons, they had to reconstitute School of Education in 2009. 1973 School of Education was constituted. From 1973 to 1998, School of Education remained. Thereafter, School of Education got finished. And
if I am not mistaken, earlier it wasn't the School of Education.
It was School of Education right from the beginning.
No, School of Education.
No, that's why you are mistaken. School of Education was the first creation in the inception of the university.
But then it was converted into School of Education and Humanities.
So therefore, School of Education was not given its due importance, but was in the form of a reorganization, was converted or whatever, but School of Education was abolished. Education was not there. Then because School of Education was again brought in by 2009, because of some reason or the other, because people, they do want to adjust some people. These are arbitrary, prejudicial decisions. We must get out of this parochial thinking. We should look into this. Now, this is the second time constituted school board after 2009, and this is the third board. We had first board, second board, and third board. This is a second regular meeting of the board, but in between, because there are two other meetings have occurred, we are not going to remove those. I am not going to get into controversies of those. We are recognizing those also, and the business has been transacted and has been placed before you. So today we will put on record our gratitude for those people who were there in the first board and had served, rendered their precious services to the board. And we will also today, if you all agree, we will also put on record our appreciation for our immediately outgoing board, and their members' names is there, and we will put a resolution for them, and we will gratefully acknowledge their service to the school board for 2 years, whatsoever have done. In the process, I will now come to the third board, and I will take the privilege to welcome with gratitude to all of you, the members of the third board. And I have taken a little liberty while conducting this board, because while constitution of this board, the university again did not take cognizance of the statutory provisions wherein some members are necessary members from every department. They did not include. So I have invited them as invitees today. So those names are also there. I take opportunity to welcome them too. And I also welcome two of my colleagues who have agreed to help me, because I want to conduct this business in total transparency, without keeping any room for anybody to say this was not discussed and this is recorded and this is recorded, this is not properly recorded. So for that, this meeting is going to be absolutely under camera. The records are available to everyone. So there will be full transparency, full participation, full freedom, and records questionable. I will be responsible for questionable reports to correct it. I take that responsibility. I welcome our esteemed guests from outside most profusely, who have made me elated by accepting my request to be on the board and be present with us. I take the opportunity to introduce you to them and introduce them to my board, members of the board, before I can begin my business of this board. Professor Pradyuman, Pradeep Yami Avar is closely known to me from IIT Guwahati. He has been head of the Center for Educational Technology, and I was really impressed by in absentia introduction of this gentleman, for which I requested him to come and accept the membership of the board with consultation with all members, and he had agreed and he has come here. It's his first meeting. We welcome him, sir. I got some references from nationally from for Professor Srivastava, who had recently joined in Shantiniketan. So then I took his consent. He also agreed, and university approved his membership. He has gratefully, obliged us, and I am thankful to you for, and I welcome you. Three of our members are not in a position to come today because I have to own the responsibility that the meeting is not organized properly. Because although I wrote my letter for DO letter much advance, but notification did not reach properly at proper time to people. So for which I take the responsibility. Professor Sansanwal, he has given his apology. He may not be able to. He said he wanted to come. He is not in a position to come. Professor Sudarshan Panigrahi from CAS, he is also not in a position to come. And one more gentleman, I am forgetting his name. So he is unable to come. Akhtar Sadiqi, very important person. Professor Akhtar Sadiqi. He is a very important person for our board. I wanted to depend upon him for our course on education on B.Ed and M.Ed, which we are going to discuss it also today. So he is also not available today. His phone was not reachable, so I tried a number of times. I am happy to welcome our colleagues from the university. Professor S.K. Nanda, thank you, sir, for having come. Professor Phala, important person, happened to be a very senior person and colleague, worked on various very senior positions. He was dean. Umaswamy is not here today. Vinisha Thermaflon, not here, no? Then Jacinthia Rathar, not here. Gordon Rumna, not here. Professor Pandey, Professor Patra, Professor Bhattacharya, Professor R.N. Rai, Professor Sahu, Madhusudanji, and most importantly, I am gratified to see Professor B.C. Das here with me.
Only BC Das.
For me, everybody of you are professor. Professor, assistant or associate. They are corollaries. You are all professors. So he is here with us. He has come out of a very, very difficult period of his life, suffering from a very, very serious disease. But he's a marvelous person and has a wonderful mind. I very much wanted him to be with me. So he is here, he has obliged me. I am happy to invite Yodida. Yodida has come here as an invitee. And my staff. And this Adare, Ellen Wada. Thank you for obliging me.
Welcome, sir.
As I have already stated, that this School of Education now has 4 constituents. Earlier it used to have only 2 constituents. One was Department of Education and one was Center for Adult and Continuing Education. Center for Adult and Continuing Education later on saw a conversion. They didn't think that center is more appropriate because that's because of the parochial attitude of Department of Center and hierarchy associated, some kind of hierarchy and power associated with it, which is absolutely wrong. They have converted themselves into a department, whereas we have 2 more centers with it. One is Center for Science Education and one is Center for Distance Education. Professor Bhattacharya ji, I welcome you also. I am sorry I didn't take your name. He is today our head of the Center for Science Education. He is representing Dr. Bist, who has apologized for his absence. And Professor R.N. Roy is the head of the Distance Education. Professor Sahu is the head of the Department of Adult and Continuing Education. Professor Nikme is head of the Department of Adult and Continuing Education of Education. And Professor Nongburi, who is told that she will be late, she is also coming. And Professor E. Jirwa, she is also for senior professor of Adult and Continuing Education. Thank you very much. Now, I had circulated the minutes of the 8th meeting which I had conducted myself. I have not received, my office has not received any comments other than some, not comments, observations and their own complaints about the meeting of the 8th, which doesn't really have anything for correction of records. Okay. So now those papers are also available in the record. You have all gone through it. Whosoever has any question or anything to say, please do not hesitate to let me know. That will be recorded. Otherwise, the minutes of all the 3 meetings, I place it before you for discussion and confirmation. Once you say confirm, I will say confirm. We will go ahead with the second. Somebody says you did so, you did not do so. Those are just kind of complaints. Those are not called as records of minutes. They are nothing as minutes.
They are confirmed.
Okay.
So there is nothing with regard to decision that have been taken. So then we confirm.
Yes. Because if I did not really bring those, these are old ones. If you want, I can.
No, in fact.
Because there's a lot of once conflicts begin to occur, communication breaks down. We don't really understand. If we have a patient, then we can really understand and resolve the issues very well. But if these are complaints and complaints, then it is difficult. there are some complaints against the conduct of the business by the chairman, nothing else.
The complaint is about individual.
Yeah, individual.
Outside record is different issue.
That's right,
But
individual.
the complaint on the decision taken in the previous
No,
meeting,
no.
they are seriously be tabled here.
No, nothing.
Then you confirm.
Okay. So we go to second item of the first part. First part is confirmation. Second part is action taken before on the minutes itself. Okay. So whatever actions which were there in the approved actions have been duly followed up, notified, and process is complete, and they have been referred here one by one. Number one, panel of papers and central examiners which were approved by the school board were processed and sent to the concerned authorities for further conduct of the evaluation. Evaluations have been completed and the results are declared. Now, number two item in this is 1.22. This is an important development of the school. One of its department of the school, that is Department of Education. All of a sudden, there was a direction which had come to NCTE for change of program from 1 year B.Ed to 2 year B.Ed to 1 year M.Ed to 2 year M.Ed. And they were supposed to upload a framework from the program. They were also supposed to hold number of workshops for transforming the program of teacher preparation, pre-service teacher preparation, so that they become effective teachers. Because they thought probably the BA 1 year B.Ed and 2 year 1 year M.Ed is not fulfilling its purpose. We do not know. So NCTE, there was some kind of further difficulty, and the people have gone to court. Some Supreme Court direction had also come to NCTE. In the process, he hurriedly did some work, and they had also passed on these instructions to our department, because we are all supposed to be guided by some national authorities. Whether they are authorities really worth guiding or not, that's a question which yet to be answered. Then in that regard, our Department of Education, somehow, and I must put on record the appreciation for the department, they did some work. They called a couple of meetings and formulated the program of 2 year B.Ed and 2 year M.Ed. Now this was supposed to be debated, but because of the dysfunctioning nature of our university authorities and its boards, these debates have not taken place, but the programs have been approved. Their framework was discussed but not uploaded by that time. And I have two other universities, the course content. To me, it appears that we need to do a serious exercise on it. If at all we want to be serious and honest to our students and learners and to our department.
This it is from a course that is about to start, or is it
The course is already under application. It's service. It is on service now. The course is on service. Course has been introduced. Course has been on service. Am I correct, Yodida? And since when it has been
this new one?
This year, introduced this year.
This
And the syllabus were framed last year.
Yes.
Since I wasn't there full year, but I know that there was each subject experts we were told to prepare a format first, and we had a very series of discussions in the department. And the new things that has been added are according to UGC's framework, NCT's framework. There is internship, which is extra. We have academic writings, which are extras in the MBED. In MBED. Otherwise, in the one-year course, we did not have all these programs.
So may I answer that? So this had followed accordingly.
What is it? How is this table?
So
No, I don't. No. I'm not, okay.
So these had followed accordingly the rules and regulations as set by the NCTE way back in December 2014. So I think 2014, the NCTE had sent the information to all the universities concerned that the B.Ed course and the M.Ed course should be shifted from 1 year to 2 years. And because Meghalaya is having 4 B.Ed colleges, man can follow, 4 B.Ed colleges, 2 in Shillong and 2 in Tura. Accordingly, the head of the department of the university, Madam Nongri, had taken a move. And there were a series of debates and discussions followed on shaping of the curriculum for the 2 years B.Ed course as well as the M.Ed course. So, sir, it has rightly been taken place according to the NCTE rules and regulations and orders, because if the universities do not have colleges affiliated following the 2 years B.Ed course or the M.Ed courses, then the NCTE had also given an ultimatum that they will remove the affiliation of the colleges from the NCTE. So that was a threat to the government of Meghalaya as well as to the Nehru in Meghalaya. So that's why the move had been taken.
This much I know. This what information you have given to me is the same what I spoke before. Okay. The point is, I intend to know that whether this course which we have now designed, okay, process we have completed, whatever, and now it is already in service.
Yes.
Service for 1 year. Okay. The point is, there was a B.Ed course earlier. There's a new B.Ed course. Except the processing of it, how is it going to be different for outcome of the purpose is a better teacher. And what is we have done to have a better teacher?
Can I say something, sir?
Yeah, and this is one question which I am posing, because if we are very clear, because any program begins with